Hey, welcome back friends. TechTail here. Today I have another money making guide for you guys. It is going to be killing dark beasts. So if you don't already know, dark beasts are going to be unlocked at level 90 Slayer, and you also have to have Morning Ends, I believe part 2 to get access to the dark beast location that I'm going to be currently killing them at. Obviously if you have Slayer tasks you can do them in Curadil's dungeon, but off task this is going to be the fastest way of killing them. Essentially what we're going to do is power slay them. That means I am going to actually be paying attention, and I'm going to be doing it for 2 hours, dividing it by 2, and whatever amount that I get is going to be the XP per hour that I'm going to be using. There may be a little bit of luck involved, so you may get a little bit more, a little bit less GP per hour than I get every single hour, but I'm going to try to get it as consistent as possible. So let's go ahead and check out what's in our inventory really quick. First thing up is going to be the Attuned Crystal Teleport Seed. Any Crystal Teleport Seed will work. The Attuned version just has unlimited charges, so it's going to be the quickest way of getting the Temple of Light without having to recharge Crystal Teleport Seeds commonly. Next up is going to be Nature Runes as well as Fire Runes. This is going to be so that I can cast the high level Alchemy spell. If you didn't already know, they do drop quite a few rune items. I do have another way of getting rid of those rune items as much as possible, but any rune items that actually come into my inventory, I am going to be high alching them immediately, and I have withdrawn everything from my coin pouch, so I know exactly how much GP I get. The other thing that rune items may do is may disassemble with the Spring Cleaner 9000. I do have that in my worn equipment inventory. If you do not have the Spring Cleaner, don't worry, you can just alch everything. But it does make it so that it automatically sends rune as well as coal items to the bank. So this is going to be optimal if you have this in your worn equipment. Next up is going to be as much non-degradable gear as possible. We are trying to limit the costs of doing this as much as possible. The best non-degradable gear that I currently have is going to be the Anima Core Body of Zamorak, the legs and the helm of Zamorak. You do need a demon horn necklace. That is just that we have unlimited prayers, so we can not have to worry about food at all, as well as getting a little bit of a boost from the range boosting spells. If you do have Soul Split, it does help. Not necessary if you don't have Soul Split. You can always just bring an Enchanted Excalibur or something like that. I'm going to be using the best weapon possible, the Augmented Noxious Bow. It's going to be having a little bit of extra range. If you do want to upgrade a little bit, you can go for the Saradomin bow, but I don't really see the purpose of that, so I'm just going to be keeping the Augmented Noxious Bow, and honestly I don't have enough money to be wasting on a Sarin bow anyhow. Obviously, arrows equivalent to the bow that you're trying to use. For the cape slot, it's whatever your best cape is going to be. Mine is obviously the max cape. If you have completionist cape, you can use that. If you do not have that, I would probably recommend using the Ava Accumulator, just so that you can get as many of the arrows back as possible. But that's probably going to be your third best option. And of course we want Luck of the Dwarves so that we get that slight chance of getting a Hazelmere Signet Ring, which comes at an insane cost like 2 billion GP. Obviously it's very rare that you're going to be getting it, but might as well throw it on there. There's not really a whole lot better rings to get anyhow, and this does increase your loot a little bit whenever you do drop get a rare drop table drop, so might as well be using that. I'm going to be going ahead and killing them for 2 hours, seeing how much GP I get, and coming back to you guys though. Okay, so we just finished up with 2 hours of killing the dark beasts, and let's go ahead and get into a price check, see exactly how much money we got. Got about 6 million, so that means it's about 3 million GP per hour. With the cost of Augmented Noxious Bow, you're probably looking more about 2.5 million GP per hour. I do want to look over a couple of the items just to see if it has any value to an Ironman or any other account that doesn't actually want to be buying everything off the GE. A decent amount of runite ore as well as adamant ore, so that's pretty nice there. I do have a decent amount of herbs as well. 152 toad flax, 57 lantidimes, and 52 grimy dwarf weeds. And on top of that, you also get a lot of fellstock seeds. These fellstock seeds alone are probably worth quite a bit of herblore experience to an Ironman account, as well as all the other miscellaneous herbs. Got some dark arrowheads. Those don't really have a use. Got a rare drop table drop of gold ore. and the rest of it really isn't worth a whole lot. Do get 2 ceramic scales, so about 1 per hour you can expect. And this is where the big thing comes in. 2.2 million GP just straight up. If you are not using a spring cleaner, all of this essentially gets turned into GP as well. So you're looking at like 3 million GP if you do not have a spring cleaner. And it ends up being about 6 million GP worth of stuff. About 2 to 3 million GP worth of herbs. So I would say this is actually pretty decent for an Ironman. 1.5 million GP per hour and a decent amount of herblore experience. Pretty good there, but for just about any other account, only 3 million GP per hour for a level 90 Slayer creature. Probably not the best thing in the world. One thing to note is you do get a decent amount of blue charms and a little bit of crimson charms. Not a whole lot. This isn't perfectly accurate. I did drop a couple right at the beginning before I've decided to get Charming Imp. But this is approximately how much you would get charm-wise, and it's nothing special charm-wise. I do want to sell everything just to make sure that I don't have anything that's not going to sell for GE price, but this is all pretty basic loot, so I'm assuming that it should sell for a decent price. Okay, so everything did sell for about GE mid-price. Got just about 6,000 coins. I am going to go ahead and use this Ancient Effigy I also got. You shouldn't expect an Ancient Effigy every single 2 hours or anything. So it's not something you can really expect to get from it, but it is something that you could potentially get. Fishing versus farming, let's go for farming. Crafting versus agility, probably agility. Agility is a lot slower. And rune crafting versus summoning. Summoning actually costs money. So we are going to check, see if we can't get the Effie pet. No luck. Okay, so all in all, if you're an Ironman, probably pretty good to kill these things. If you need a little bit of GP and a little bit of herblore experience, this is pretty nice. Any other count, 3 million GP per hour. There's one thing to note is it is semi-AFK. If you are AFKing, it does obviously not make you quite as much money as the way that I did it. But you can AFK this and get a decent amount of GP, probably like 1.5 to 2 million GP AFK. Not the best thing in the world to do, but it is definitely an option if herb prices go up at all, or if for some reason Rune ends up alking for more after the update. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be putting onto the drop table after the Rune items are kind of nerfed everywhere. But that is something to look into as well. As soon as this changes, a lot of those Rune items are going to have to get taken off the list. So let's see what they replace it with, see if it's going to be worth doing after the mining smithing rework. If you guys do enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Also leave a comment if you have anything to say, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see all my future content. I do plan on doing a lot more PVM money making. This is just the first, so make sure you check it out. As always, have a good one.